Bread price hike in Egypt. A plan to hike the price of bread for the first time in 44 years has surprised Egyptians already trying to make ends meet. President Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi announced this week that it was time to increase bread prices in order to rein in an expensive subsidy scheme that feeds almost two-thirds of Egypt's 100 million people and has aided in the suppression of political dissent. Around 30% of Egyptians live below the government's poverty threshold, with monthly salaries of less than £857, 54.73. Numerous people struggle without access to running water or sanitation. The minimum monthly pay is £2,400, 153. However, this is not always met in Egypt's informal sector, which employs nearly two-thirds of the population. At the end of last year, unemployment stood at 7.2% and has historically been higher among young people. However, analysts have long said that Egypt, the world's largest wheat importer, and the Arab world's most populated country, must cut subsidies in order to modernize its economy. Due to supply concerns, the coronavirus epidemic has increased global wheat prices. For the fiscal year ending June, bread subsidies were scheduled at almost 45 billion Egyptian pounds, 2.9 billion. This equates to around 1.8% of total state spending. It is past time for the price of the 5 piastre, 0.32 US cent, loaf to raise, Al-Sisi said in broadcast remarks Tuesday at the opening of a food production factory, referring to a round 90-gram loaf known as Aish Baladies. Sisi expressed hope that the announcement would not be negatively received and that no major increase was planned. Selling 20 loaves for the price of a cigarette is fantastic. As part of market reforms connected to IMF finance, the government has already reduced power and fuel subsidies. Egyptian governments have traditionally been circumspect about the price of bread, which gets its name from the Arabic word for life in colloquial Egyptian speech. In 1977, an effort by then-President Anwar Sadat to raise bread prices sparked fatal protests across Egypt that lasted until the decision was reversed. However, Al-Government Sisi's has been steadily establishing the groundwork for change, most notably through the implementation of cash transfer programs that better direct public assistance to the poorest citizens.